Guys, how's it going on? I'm here to do a video on Boku no Hero Academia. Now, before we get into this, I've got a straight pull out there. This is manga spoilers, so if you are not up to date to the recent chapter that is 152, please do not watch this video because I don't want to spoil the greatness that is this series for you. So alright guys, let's get straight into it. So as you can tell by the title of this video, this is about Mirio Togata. Now, this has been on my mind recently, and ever since the last chapter, not only did I feel gut-wrenched, but also excited of what happened to Mirio because, you know, he lost his quirk. It just put so many thoughts into my mind, and I just had to all put that into a video. So, basically, what I did, I just jotted some notes down because I don't want to ramble on, you know? I want to bring out the thoughts and then be gone with it and then continue discussing in the comments below. So, yeah, let me just start it off right now. So, you know how last week Mirio became quirkless, and these kind of questions that were in my mind was like, can he still be a hero, or is this the death of Mirio's character? And in my review I was talking a lot about how with this series, when someone loses their quirk, they're basically dead because their quirk is them. It's an extension of themselves, and if especially they're a hero and they've lost their quirk, we know that it's basically game over. We saw it with what's her name from the Pussycat. I can't remember her name. But she had the quirk which All For One stole from her, and that was like she could like contact 100 people at once. That kind of, I can't remember her name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So we know that even from the loss of her quirk, she's not back into heroic activities. She's not being a hero. She's lost her quirk. I don't know if she was depressed or something, but yeah, she's out of action. So we know that it's serious when someone loses their quirk. Now, what I do have a little bit of hope for you guys, and I've got a bit of hope for Mirio, and especially what I want to happen is, the fact is, I don't think it's game over for Mirio. I don't think it's end of the road for him because of the way Horikoshi set up his character, and you even see it in his drawing. You see Mirio's cartoonish face, which is always just like beaming of joy. We know that Mirio's character is just intrinsically pure. He's joyful, he's altruistic in the sense that he always wants to help people. His name was Lemillion because he wanted to save 1,000,000 people. So I know that whatever happens to his character, I believe that he will be beneficial, whether it be him being a teacher, he'll be a civil officer like a policeman or like a fireman. I know whatever he will be doing, he'll be doing it in the action of him wanting to save people's lives and making a difference. So I guess that puts some hope in my heart, and it makes me happy because I don't know what's going to happen to his character, but whatever it does, I'm 99% sure that I'll be happy with how it goes. Unless, you know, he becomes depressed and like all of that kind of stuff. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So these are the kind of scenarios which I jotted out. Now, one of the scenarios is that Mirio can become a street level hero, you know, fighting on the streets, facing the bad guys of like the gangs and all this kind of stuff. He could be fighting Yakuza as he did like last chapter. Now we know that the Yakuza that we see in this recent arc with Shizaki and all of that, they're not the average Yakuza because they've got Overhaul and they've got these kind of guys. The way that the Yakuza was set up, they were supposed to be like, you know, small time thugs, kind of. So we can see Mirio, if he was a street level fighter, he could be fighting people like that. He could be, I don't even know, running down into the alleyways, grabbing people up by the throat and stuff like that. It would be pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie. But I think this because without his quirk, he was still fighting Overhaul and Kronos for a third of the time that he was there. So it just shows you that he is talented. He's physically, what's the word? He's physically super, like he's strong, he's beefed up. We know that he can take a hit. We know that he can give a couple as well. And that's not, even when he was quirkless, when he was throwing those punches to Overhaul, the man kicked Kronos. Like, I was just like, wow, that got me hyped. So we know that he's unbelievably strong. And that just shows you the amount of training that he did. So I really do feel like even if he didn't do any, if he wasn't a hero, I really think even though he's quirkless, he's still wasted some of that potential because he could probably beat like Deku on a one-on-one, even if Deku wasn't using his quirk. Like his hand-to-hand combat is probably exceptionally very good. So, my second one, which is probably gonna be the title of the video because it just puts a smile on my face, is that Mirio could become Batman. Or maybe like the Green Arrow. So the thing is, like, with superheroes, and what gets me really excited is, there's a trend with some superheroes. We know the ones that don't have powers. You know, Batman, Oliver Queen, that is Arrow, if you guys watch the TV series. You know, there's some heroes that doesn't have powers, and what makes them so badass, what makes them so awesome, is the fact that they're going into they're going into the battle, they're going into the line of fire without any advantageous quirk, without anything that could, you know, help them. They don't have augmented strength. All that they have pretty much is good aim, like good hand-to-hand combat to an exceptional degree. So yeah, Mirio could possibly do something like that, you know. Not saying, I was gonna say that he could possibly become a vigilante, but he's obviously got his provisional license. He's probably got his hero license. I don't doubt that in the slightest. But he can do something like that. He can do what Batman does. He can do what Green Arrow does, you know. He'll have his own investigations and all that kind of stuff. And when I was thinking about that, I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I'm not saying that he'll still be working under Sir Night Eye as his apprentice, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sir Night Eye aided him in the sense of how, you know, Mirio, he does. The fact is, he's lost his quirk, but he doesn't need to keep training in a sense of, oh, I've lost my quirk, so I need to get stronger so I can still become a hero. Like, no, his skills still fit the bills, if you get what I mean. He can still be out in the street and fighting people, because we saw it last chapter, there's the evidence. So, you know, maybe Sir Night Eye helps him out with some investigations. Maybe not with the most strongest and the most, I don't know, villainous villains, but, you know, street level thugs, some kind of small time perps, all that kind of stuff, maybe. Now, there is another scenario, and that is obviously not obviously, but that is, you know, Mirio inheriting One for All. Now, I've seen a lot of you guys been talking about this, and some guys have been telling me as well. Yeah, it can happen, it really can, but I think there's a difference in the fact of, there's one thing of Deku saying, here, have my quirk, you're more worthy of it, and then there's another of Mirio actually taking it. For example, I think next chapter, whenever it comes, I do think it's highly probable that Deku's gonna have either an inner monologue of being like, I can give him my quirk, he's more worthy of having it. And maybe Deku does ask Mirio, but I highly doubt it that Mirio would say, yes, give me your quirk. I highly doubt that would happen. That's just not in his character. Now, it would be a major plot twist, like, I'd be interested to see where Horikoshi goes with that, but nevertheless, I can't see that happening. I really can't see Mirio inheriting One for All. I thought it'd be really awesome because, you know, it's kind of been built up as well. That whole question, it's been hinted at us from the start of his introduction of his character, you know. Everyone was wondering, imagine how strong he'd be if he inherited One for All. Or what would it have been like if he had One for All, if he was All Might's student. So, yeah, I think it would be interesting to see that. That would be a pretty cool scenario. I just had to pull it out there, you know, because, it is probable of Deku actually thinking about it. It really is. Because even Sir Night Eye said to his face, Mirio should have inherited One for All. So aside from that, I think this is what I kind of want to put aside, and this is what I wrote out. I think there is a bigger picture at play, guys. Judging the way that Horikoshi writes, I think Mirio's loss of his quirk wasn't just to focus on that instilling fear in our eyes about this whole anti-quirk bullet kind of stuff. I don't think that was the main reason that Horikoshi had Mirio lose his quirk. And I also don't think it was the reason of Mirio being an obstacle to Deku being number one. I don't. I truly think that the whole point of Mirio losing his quirk was to focus on a central theme, which was being introduced from the start of this series. And that was the fact that you don't have to have a quirk to be a hero. Your quirk doesn't make you heroic. We see it in the... I don't know if it's the first... I think it's the first chapter, or maybe the second chapter. Deku jumps into the fray to save Bakugo, you know. There's that whole sensation of how my legs moved before I can even think. It's the whole point of how, you know, it's intrinsic to you. You just want to help people. Regardless of if you have a quirk or not. Regardless of the risks, you know. And we see in this chapter, in the previous chapter, regardless of the risks, Mirio knew that he could lose his quirk permanently. He knew that he could take some damage, but he still jumped out to save the girl. And at the end of the day, that's what it is being a hero, you know, putting yourself aside and risking it all to save that person. And, you know, we've seen it throughout different characters. All Might, Deku, we're seeing it with Mirio, and I think this whole setup, this is why I made the video. I really do think Horikoshi is setting up the quirkless hero. You know, I called it as a fun, I called him Batman or like, you know, Arrow, but this can happen. We see it in Vigilantes. To be honest, I haven't read the series yet, so don't go, you know, like asking me all questions about it. I'm actually gonna read it today probably, or definitely this week. But I do believe that one of the heroes in Vigilantes, you know, the guy with the knuckle duster, I don't know if that's his name, but I do believe that he is quirkless, right? So, you know, it's been set up even in the spin-off series. We know that it's possible for... There's going to be a time when one of the heroes will be quirkless, and I do think to make the best out of this situation, because I'm still sad about it, man. I want his quirk back, but, you know... Oh, gosh. Either way, I think it would be awesome if Mirio does become this quirkless hero. Not only will it make him so awesome and it'll keep him in the story and it'll make us happy, but I think it will just, you know, what's the word? It will really magnify that theme that Horikoshi's been writing about the whole time. You know, like your power is not what makes you heroic. And if Mirio becomes the quirkless hero or becomes a quirkless hero, then he will be the #1 hero in my eyes. That's how I see it. So thanks guys for watching this video. You know, I kind of just had to put my thoughts out about it. I know there's a massive amount of interest on Mirio's character, and I didn't see anyone talk about this yet, so I kind of had to put it out there. And I also want your thoughts, guys. I want your thoughts on what you think about this. Can you see Mirio as being the quirkless hero? Can you see him as being a Batman-esque kind of character? Now, I know he's not rich. Well, actually, yeah, we don't know if he's filthy rich, so obviously he can't be that kind of Bruce Wayne, but, you know, it can happen. You know, he can become a quirkless hero. He can do heroic stuff regardless of him having a quirk or not. Or you never know. All Might said it in the first episode. He said it in the first chapter to Deku. Just become a policeman. Be a civil servant if you don't have a quirk. So we can see Mirio do something like that. That would be pretty awesome as well, wouldn't it? But yeah, we can't be ignorant to the one fact, and I can't be ignorant myself to the fact that even though this does seem cool, Mirio being a quirkless hero, not gonna lie, I do feel like a lot of us, and personally me, I am gonna be a little bit gutted that he lost his quirk. Like, come on, how awesome was he with that quirk? Like, you see all the amazing things. So at least we got to see him do some pretty cool techniques, right? But I know we'll be a bit sad of it, but you know, just let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think will happen with Mirio? I hope we do focus on his character, because I think it would be really interesting to see how his thought process is on that. Do you think he's no longer going to be Sir Night Eye's apprentice, or he probably won't even be in he won't probably be part of the big three anymore? I think it's going to be heartbreaking. I think that would really be it if they're just called the big two now, or like the dynamic duo or something like that. I don't know. But I don't know, the ramifications for what's going to happen to Mirio's character in the next couple of chapters and for the future of this series is going to be interesting to see. So that's enough from me, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That will be greatly appreciated. And even if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I always talk about Boku no Hero Academia, both the anime and the manga. So this is Shinigami-san. Peace out, guys, and goodbye.